This is a Different Generations podcast. We're back with Ron, Papke, young Jeffrey, Braxton, the two 19-year-olds. Actually, we got 19 and 20 now.
That's
Braxton,
right.
you're 20. Big 2-0 out of his teen years. An old, crotchety old Gen Xer.
That's
Spoonie. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Different Generations is brought to you by GBT Property Management and...
What's up, people? Ron, come in guns blazing.
What are we talking about?
Well, you're where are you from, first off?
Michigan City, Indiana.
Okay. It's a long ways from Belton, Texas, Groesbeck, Texas. How many miles was it to drive down here?
Over 1,000.
Okay.
Not quite 1,100.
We got a real small sample size here. But we're noticing a trending pattern. Our young guy, Braxton here, is focusing on himself and has no time for women and doesn't know how to talk to them face to face.
Is the focusing on himself really an excuse because he doesn't know how to go after the women? Is that a cover-up line?
What do you think, Tony?
So I wonder if it's not even we're at an age now where like it's displayed all the time on the TikToks and stuff where a dude walks up to a girl and says, "Hey, something in a gym," and now they're just getting roasted by every person alive. Is it also that it's just not worth the effort to put in because you're going to get roasted by some stranger?
I don't fear that.
Okay.
I think it's two sides of what he said.
All right.
I think there's
But,
both true, but that is an element. But I don't personally fear that.
all right. So last night at dinner, we discovered young Jeffrey here, who's 19, also has the same, it's like, you know, and I think it's modes of communication. I think they prefer to text. It's
Might
hard
be.
to text somebody you can't get a number for. So what is it, Jeffrey?
Man, it's just...
You got to know. You told me last night you were working on yourself. Just pretend like all these cameras ain't here. Ain't nobody watching anyways.
There's like 6 people that watch this. It's
Yeah.
literally a tiny audience.
My mom, his baby mama, that's two of
My,
them.
my wife, that's 3 of the
So we
viewers.
got 3 true viewers.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I mean, I do want to work on myself, but, you know, I still want to talk to some ladies. Just got to practice, you know, practice the skill.
So now y'all grew up way apart.
Mm-hmm.
2 different backgrounds. Same belief system when it comes to women. Ron, how can we help these young men out?
So first of all, we have to figure out what the real objection is and start with that. So the real objection could possibly be that their fear of rejection is the objection. I don't want a girl to tell me no. I get nervous because there's a chance she might tell me no, and that's awkward, and I want to avoid that awkwardness, and instead of confronting it, let me just hide, you know, and let me come up with excuses. I'm working on myself, this sort of thing, instead of just ripping right into it. Like, who cares if she says no? And that comes from having a self-esteem. You have to have so much confidence. Like, what do I really care if you reject me? What do I care what you think of me? I know who I am as a person. And so it's an identity crisis for oneself and not actually an outward experience.
Really? That's savage.
That's pretty succinct.
Just think about that.
So say I bite, say I agree with all of that. What I would say the other side of it is, like, for the phone, for instance, I'm comfortable making cold calls because I've done so many of them, and I have a script. I know what I'm going to say. I've practiced it. I've done the reps. What's that game plan look like then? If I ignore that objection, I just go over it like it doesn't exist. What's the play? What's the move going forward?
So you said you had a script. The thing is, you got to have a script with this too. And if you don't have that script, that's what's going to create that nervousness.
So here's one thing I've talked to Braxton about before. I don't think Braxton understands the true value he's bringing to a relationship. He doesn't have that value of himself.
Oh.
Just from the sense of being a dude, like he undervalued. That's where the confidence comes
my
in.
God.
How many 20-year-olds you know that got a bunch of houses?
It ain't got nothing, man.
All I'm saying is it is a confidence issue.
Oh no.
You don't think it is?
No, no. Like, sitting here like the value. Like, what kind of liberal feely shit is this?
I'm just saying, like you got to walk up to it with confidence that you're bringing more to any equation. Like,
I don't know.
no, I don't agree with you. Like,
Yeah,
that's where your confidence is rooted.
When
in
did
what
you? How old were you when you got married?
34.
He's 20.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about married. I'm just talking about anything. Like even getting a date.
Yeah, you're putting a married lens on it. Like
No,
you know what he should bring to the relationship at this point? Enough money for Taco Bell. Like,
I'm just saying.
when you were 20.
No, what I'm saying is he has so much more going on than I did at 20.
Yeah, but
All I'm saying is he. I'm just trying to help him understand that he has more value than he thinks he does.
Yeah,
That's
but it doesn't matter. There's dudes riding around right now.
Oh shit, yeah, in somebody
in the
else's car,
passenger seat
Absolutely.
of their old lady's car,
making them pick them up,
Yes, out
Yeah.
there pumping gas.
and they're just slinging dick,
That's it.
just slinging dick because they had the confidence to roll in there and be like, "Hey, this
They
is how it's
got-
going to roll down."
but you ain't trying to.
I'm not trying to get married off. I'm just trying to say I think it's a confidence issue.
I don't think so.
Like, do you drink?
No.
Do you drink? How did you practice?
I didn't drink when I was their age either.
I did, and I used it. I drank a lot when I was practicing just stupid lines at girls,
I didn't
things
know.
like that.
I
But-
just walk right up to them.
But it comes up to reps, right? Like you,
No,
like we were all.
I think it comes down to
partying.
motivation.
Well,
I think
we all know what the motivation is.
Well, my motivation. I don't know what their motivation was. I know what mine was. So, Jeffrey, when you get ready to talk to a girl, what's your approach? What's your how you get in there?
Just be straightforward, you know. Be like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
what are you doing later? You know,
Do you get left on red a lot?
like texting.
Yeah.
No, I usually just snap with people, you know, and like we snap back and forth and text on there. So
But what about so you don't talk to anybody, like you don't see somebody like we gave the example of here, but I nixed it. I was like, no, let's not. So I get kicked out of Happy Home here. So I go around hitting on all the women at the co-working space and not get allowed back. But we're like when you hanging out at the bar, where's your scene?
where do I hang out at?
You go to work, go to the convenience store. Where would you run into a woman in the wild? At the gym,
The store.
store?
Yeah,
But you'll never see them and say, you know what, I'm gonna walk right up and talk to them.
I don't ever do that.
It just never crossed your mind.
No, I'd like to, you know, but like,
I mean, what would you say if you saw, like, you're at the store, you're just picking up groceries for the week, and you see a girl buying, whatever, sushi? What would you say to her?
you like seafood?
I mean, she's eating sushi, so I'm going to guess the answer is yes. But you,
Yeah.
like, have you tried that one? Like,
All right, now let me give you an objection right quick. You like seafood? Nah, this is for my boyfriend.
well, what do you like to eat?
Oh my God, Sweet, I'm surprised you got married.
Oh,
Let's-
that's not what one.
We're
my
role
wife would.
playing. All right, so you like seafood? It's for my boyfriend.
I don't know how you do you go straight into the my pet snake died or whatever, like just be a
Yeah.
yeah. It's like what are you talking about? Oh, I thought we were talking about stuff that don't matter.
Yeah, I like it. What do you
But
got,
I think that's a
Ron?
complaint. I think you just
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so
I mean, Spoon thinks the boyfriend's real. It transfers into your sales skills too. Every complaint is real. When you give it power, it becomes real. Like I ain't worried about the boyfriend. What is your response? My boyfriend likes the sushi.
So if I suspected she didn't really have a boyfriend and she was just blowing me off, then I might go a little deeper with it and be like, listen, I appreciate that. This is a good brand of sushi, but here's the truth of the matter is I don't want to talk to you anymore about this dead fish. But I would like to see is you and me together on the beach having a romantic evening together.
I like
that's
that.
savage.
I mean,
That's savage.
moved right past it.
Like there's the small talk has to be canceled out. Nobody likes it. Why? Just avoid it. Get straight to the point. Hey, you look adorable.
Ooh,
Just go straight to the point. There's certain criteria that I'm looking for in a woman, and I'd like to have the opportunity to talk about that with you over dinner sometime.
yeah, girl, you're so hot. I'd eat a mile of your shit just to see where it came from.
You hitting with that one? Or you hit?
I'm not hitting them. That's not my style. But
You're so fine.
Has that ever worked?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. I'll answer for you.
It has. It absolutely. Yeah. We can go try it out at Chili's right now.
Right
we can
now.
all go in.
Afterwards, we're going to Chili's.
We can all go into Chili's and sit at separate tables. And give it a go and see
I'm
who.
not part of this.
Of course you're
this-
not, because
Jeffrey, when we leave this table today, are you willing to commit to talking to the first girl you see outside this building?
Yeah, I'll do it.
what
Are you willing to talk to the first woman
We're
you
going to
see?
Harry
where are
Hines.
we
We're
going?
going to Harry Hines after this.
He's not willing to commit. Jeffrey at least committed.
Well, he's probably thinking about standards. You know, DJ the other night
Where are we
said,
going?
But
Don't.
DJ the other night said that any girl that can do the splits is automatically a 10. To which I asked the waitress, who's a large lady, can you do the splits? And she said, absolutely. And this is at a Chili's, ironically enough. Said, hell yeah, I can do the splits. And
Said
then
I was a cheerleader.
yeah, and it crushed DJ's soul to know that. And he really had like a moment where he had to step back.
Then I asked, "What if a dude can do the splits? Is he now a 10 to you, DJ?"
But either way, all right. So my pickup lines. I mean, I think they all work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're so fine, I wouldn't kick you out of bed for eating crackers. Like, that was a little creepy, but you know what I mean? You could fart and wake me up, and I wouldn't ask you to leave.
Jeffrey and I were talking about this last night. You could make a statement, or you can ask a question using the same words.
Go for it. Show us, Ron.
Give us an example, Jeffrey. We went over this last night.
All right. Let's see. You can go like, what's a good one? Like we were talking about hell yeah. You can go hell yeah, or you can go hell yeah, like a question. You know what I mean?
You don't
Tonality.
ask with any words.
You can do it with anything. Make a question or just act like you're saying
Corey
it.
Thompson. Corey Thompson?
Okay.
Any word.
Tonality.
Tonality. Braxton understands that. That's in the Spanish language. What do you think about that?
I don't know what question you're trying to ask.
Well, I mean, he's saying you can say stuff.
So you could say just 2 words to a chick. Netflix? Chill?
I don't know.
That's it.
I mean, but all right, you're cold calling.
Well, are you
script.
saying you're going to just warm them up for something? Hey, what are you doing? Are you going to go through the whole small talk thing first?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Am I in the DMs? Am I in real life?
Real life.
In real life, hey, my name's Corey Thompson.
Well, I'm Alicia.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
What brings you here today?
Man, I just came to grace myself with your presence.
You should come jump on this podcast and talk.
I would
real
love to
estate.
do a podcast.
Well, great. Show up. Walk upstairs.
What are we going to do after the podcast?
Oh, we'll get to that on the podcast.
No, I didn't know ahead of time what I'm getting myself into. I got the plans later.
Well, we'll use the camera and lights. We'll
You
see
just
what we
want to
can
go
figure.
back to my place and
Well, now I don't.
That's what you call a lay down.
So first of all, I just want to put this out here. I do have the ability to perform marriages, and I've done 2, and I'll be happy to do you guys' marriages when y'all are ready to commit.
Alicia.
He's
Corey.
already married.
I'm just saying that went so smooth. I feel like y'all may be soulmates.
He's
So
married
you know,
in Indiana, not in Texas. Like,
Yeah.
we can marry y'all today.
wow.
Like,
You want to get
I
married,
think
Ron?
that went from role playing to just playing out your fantasy.
you-
All right. So, but why is it like y'all young guys? Like what do you think?
If I had to put a reason on it, I would say lack of like attempts, reps, even trying. It's just haven't been around people that do it, so I've never felt prompted to do it. Haven't felt.
So it's like your friends are,
Well, think about it. So 2 completely different backgrounds, everything. Just not accustomed to it. I think that's just the general thing is.
But do you even talk to? I'm seriously asking this. Isn't like do you even just talk to girls like in just random start up a conversation with a girl that you don't know?
Randomly.
Yeah. But I mean that's where you start.
because
You just start
lately
talking to
I've
people.
tried to. Like
yeah. But did you watch me do it and say, well, I guess.
absolutely. Like so it's like just the ability to talk to anyone. I think like it's a true value. You don't have to be trying to get something out of the
Yeah.
encounter. It's just talking to another human. Like there's nothing about it that's just, that's where it's like you should be comfortable doing that with anybody.
I wingman Braxton a date, and then he went to her Instagram, seen she dated a football player at Baylor, and quit talking
Could have
to
been
her.
an old picture though.
I don't know. I don't know how he was doing that much research. Like, it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't read the package to see what's in Reese's. You know what I mean? I eat it, and if it makes me sick, I wonder if what was in it made me sick. You know what I mean? I'm like,
300 pounds of lineman though, just
what?
I
What
mean,
about
that
it?
date took a weird turn. If he's showing up, like,
it's mean. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, but you're not taking him on a date. You're taking her on a date.
Till I don't know.
It's
but you
late.
don't know that they were still dating. That could have been
True.
the one date they went on, and she just put it up there because she wanted to feel good about herself.
What if he
true.
was short?
It's true. Could have been a
But
short
he
king.
definitely wasn't short.
What if he was like,
That's what it is.
what if he was a giant dude with a tiny wiener, and she just hated him? You don't know.
A lot of what ifs here. Okay.
The only what if we don't know is what would happen if he had talked to her again, because he didn't.
Do you have her number still? Can we text her from your phone right now?
I don't have her number saved.
Can you scroll back in your text messages and we can read through them?
She's definitely got a
Scroll
new
back
phone
through
system.
the
She
last
might be
3
in there.
years.
I just scroll through till we find Roadhouse. Wait, all right, here we go.
I don't think they understand the benefits.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
What would a good woman in your life do for you?
Make
What-
sure I'm taken care of. You know,
Oh,
like if I'm with her and like we're married. You know, she like, you know, I'll be working. You know, she'll be working too, taking care of me, take care of the kids. But we all do that. You know.
well,
What? Tell me more about the benefits. What else? What's the benefit of having a woman in your life?
You got someone to talk to. You always got someone there. You know, like it's hard to explain.
So you don't see sex as a benefit,
I mean, yeah, that's a benefit, but that's
Okay.
not the most important thing.
right?
It's pretty.
Is it one of them though?
Yeah, it's a good
It's
thing.
definitely one of the most important things. I promise you, if you marry somebody that you hate having sex with, you won't be happy being married.
All right, so we got sex. We got what? Companionship. What else?
what if she makes good cheese sticks?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
up there.
Food.
Yeah, good food.
What
Yeah.
else?
Clean's good.
All right, take me out the video. I'm done.
So, well, this is just.
Runs a mop like a pro.
Yeah, I mean, it's speaking for the business specifically.
She'll mow my grass. Jeffrey, put it all out there.
Hopefully she has a
I mean,
rod lawnmower. I'm tired of push mowing.
if you're considering, you know, how much work she's going to do at the house, you got to consider what kind of work you're going to bring to her life. I think he's talking at a different level. Like, you know, is it going to be nice to have somebody to hang out with that you can share experiences with, that you can talk about the movie with, that just ain't your dudes. You know, it's obviously fun if you can, you know, if you're having sex, it's fun. I can't imagine it not being that way. Corey, have you had any unfun sexual experiences?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that would seem like a benefit to a relationship. And
Well, what kind of relationship? Like, I don't have sex with my uncles.
well, did you have weird sexual relationships with them? Like,
No.
because I just said unfun sex, and you said, but why'd you bring your uncles into it?
Well, you were just bringing up relationships. I'm like,
No, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about like dating a girl. Like,
yeah, but there's probably a line that has to cross for you know, maybe these guys want to wait till marriage.
and that's fine too.
Maybe they want to wait for the right person. I mean, maybe sex ain't in the equation till it's too late. And then you're like, well, this Spoonie said if I didn't like the sex, I didn't like that sex. I thought it was weird what she strapped on and all the things she did to me.
Jeffrey.
Oh no.
Now I'm married, and this is terrible. So
She walked in with a quarter motor oil and some jumper cables. It got weird.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the benefit. I mean, at 20 years old, the benefit of dating is, you know, completely different than looking for a wife. I mean, I'm not.
That's true.
I look at it more like a service level. Like this weekend, I drove all the way to Corpus and back, right? Like, could have been eating at the beach, just
Yeah.
hanging out. Fun
Yeah.
experiences is like what I'm looking for right now. Just
Yeah, could have
get to know them, whatever.
Could have rode. Could have had somebody to talk to. Could have had somebody to help drive. Could have listened to some new music. I mean, like how much of your life at 20 years old was just new music?
Oh my God, all of it. Just like singing. Oh, I relate to this so much.
Yes,
Just,
like you know, this
is
song
song of
that
my
changed my life. Like, and it's just like you heard of the new whatever, or you're thinking about a concert. It's just like, you know, the imagination, the new, the difference, the network. I mean, it's like now I get plugged into a whole new set of parties. I get plugged into a whole new set of people that have a whole new set of interests. And hopefully it's not heroin or, you know what I mean, meth. But
Ideally not, but it's different things, differences.
yeah. So I mean, I think the benefits at 20 are like, I mean, hell, it's
Road
just,
trip to Vegas wouldn't have been with DJ's no deodorant, you know?
yeah, that. But even this, I mean, like she might have an uncle that has a lake house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't care what goes on there, and then you get to go out there that weekend with 3 or 4 friends and get to ride jet skis.
Mm-hmm.
Just a different experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
One thing I would like to encourage all men to do is before you start dating, you make a list and know yourself enough. What do I really bring to the table? How am I making this woman's life better? And if you can't answer that question, maybe you shouldn't be dating. Maybe you should work on
hold
yourself.
on. But wait a second. At 20, dick and bubblegum can improve a lot of lives. A lot of lives.
Jeffrey, what are you bringing to that table?
Honesty, loyalty, you know, compassion. I'll always be there for them, you know.
But do they value that at this juncture in their
Bingo.
life?
Now that's the question.
That-
I don't think those are valued.
You
by,
got to remember that women are supposed to be more mature than us men.
But I'm not disputing what you say.
Yeah.
You're going back to what I was saying earlier. I think a lot of this with young men is that we don't have confidence in ourselves in a lot of times, up to a certain point in the value we're bringing to any relationship. But he's right. I don't think a lot of those things are even valued in this society anymore.
Hold on. Not society. At this juncture, you need to date a
I'm
35-year-old
talking-
single mom.
I'm talking about that specific window, like 20 to 27.
That's what I'm telling you. You need to date a 35-year-old single mom.
Yeah.
Like, if you want somebody that values that, the single moms are there for you because they will value that. They will be like, oh man, I'm gonna raise him up right. He'll be good to go.
So what would the perfect woman offer you, Braxton? The perfect ideal woman. If she walked through that door today, would you be able to recognize the qualities that she has?
I think so.
Okay.
But like for me right now, like what I just said, just easy going.
Okay,
Can we get along?
when I worked in the oil field, number one quality in a woman was flexible schedule. That was it.
I thought you were just going to say flexible.
That's DJ.
That was number 2. It was flexible schedule because all the women I dated at that time, every single woman that I dated at the time, better be able to get in the truck and ride to Vegas with me to buy a car, because I got 14 days off and a pocket full of money, and if you can't ride with me to go buy this car that I found on eBay, somebody else will. You know what I mean? And that was it. And now, who had that kind of time? They were actually pretty smart girls because they were in college, but they didn't need to go to class. So they could load up, make the trip, and still get back and pass their test. So I ended up dating some pretty awesome chicks back then that were smart and fun, but I had other habits that I brought into the relationship, like drinking. I drank then, and I don't drink now, that I could never really get over. Like, it's like, I want to stop drinking, and they were always like, for what? That's all we do. And I'm like, well, it's not all I want to do now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I think it's different values. I think what you're talking about right now is like a long-term relationship. But we're talking about skin level. Walk up to somebody, say hi to them. Like, it's really, do you want Taco Bell, Burger King, Texas Roadhouse? You know what I mean? Like, the deeper conversation. Like, before they're going to value any of that other stuff, I think they're going to have to get to know you a little bit better. You know what I mean?
All right, so if we got to the bottom of this, if you were being 100% vulnerable, transparent, what would you really identify as why you want to interact with the woman, very next? Now, let's say this woman had every attractable feature you wanted, everything, perfect credit score, great career. She had everything
you had me at credit score.
you wanted out of a woman.
Will she be on an LLC with me?
She would do all of that, and she was right in front of you. What would stop you from talking to her?
I don't know. Nothing's physically stopping me do any of it.
Well, I think the mystery is he doesn't know about that credit score when he's standing there looking at her.
It's true.
Okay. Well, what about you? You remember the girl at the bank?
I don't.
Okay. You thought so?
Catch me up to speed on the girl at the bank.
Me and Braxton were up there getting some paperwork signed. Do you think she's pretty?
Yeah.
She's very nice. I'm trying to wing for Braxton. She's
Well,
an art.
what
She
does
was an
this
art.
mean?
I was just trying to help him get his introductions in.
They're talking about art.
She's an art
I have
major.
no idea what's going on.
So she's an art major. So I was just talking about, whatever. And
Hold on. How'd you find out she's an art major?
she said she went to Baylor. So what was your major?
Oh.
She said, I was an art major. I said, do you get tired of people just acting like they know about art? And you do? And she said, yeah, there's so many. And he had all the opportunity. They're close to the same age. We're just sitting there. He's like, man, she was cute. To just be like, hey, you know what? Anything. Teach me about art. I would love to learn about it. Because she was talking about how she liked to teach people.
Don't say that.
You could have said, take me to dinner. He could have said anything. I don't agree with you.
You say, my name's Braxton. What time do you get off? I'm going to pick you up. Be ready to eat massive amounts of meat.
Yeah. I disagree with his method. But you could have asked her out. You had all her information. You knew exactly what she liked. She told you what she didn't like.
But all you needed to know was what time she got off.
It's true.
I like Spoon's approach. Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, you can.
Can I ask something? So I'm not saying it's wrong for you to think about credit score and all that, but I'm wondering why is that so important?
She can sign in a refi with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is important.
No, I'm not just like only credit score, but like things you go into preconceptions. Braxton, what if you meet someone that you really vibe with off rip who doesn't check any of those boxes?
But has a wiener.
See that?
No, I didn't say that. They
No.
check your boxes in terms of attraction and personality and all those boxes, but not in terms of maybe they're not the most financially literate.
Oh no!
or,
Ultimately, I don't care about that. Do our values align, and do they want to get better in some way, shape, or form? And that doesn't have to be financial. Do they just want to improve on their passion, their dream, their fitness, whatever it is? Just they want to be better. Like I don't want anyone that's sedentary. But if you're willing to improve in some way on what you believe in, we have similar values, we're good.
All right. So now all those boxes have been checked. Everything's good. She's been dating for 6-7 months, thinking about taking it to the next level, talking about marriage and all that. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I got herpes.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, that
You
happened to
wouldn't
me
know that before marriage, before talking
Well,
about
that's why
marriage?
yeah, but they're in that conversation.
That's why he's prefacing it. So it's serious.
Yeah, it's getting there. And she's like, oh, but one thing. And then you're like, wait, what? Now, okay, what then? Are you going to ask why or how?
Maybe, probably.
Okay. Now,
There'll be some qualifying
What do you mean
questions.
how?
Why does
There's
that-
only
why does
one
that
answer
matter?
to that. What?
Well, I don't know.
It's either do you accept it or not.
it could be rape herpes. They could be.
None of that
molestation
matters.
herpes.
None of that matters if you either accept it or you don't.
You'd have to like her enough to suffer through herpes with her. I mean, that's the moral of the story. Is like, do
you either
I like
her
you
or not.
enough
Like the
to
how,
have herpes?
The how doesn't matter.
Yeah, the how doesn't matter at all.
The how does
The how
matter.
is
No, it
Corey.
doesn't.
There's one
No, it
how
doesn't.
you get genital herpes by having sex. She
No,
had
no,
sex,
no.
or
You
she
don't
got,
get it from a tractor seat, Corey.
But
This
did
ain't
she
not-
say it's from? It's one of the hundreds of guys. Or it's like, is this one?
Right, but none of that matters until you answer the question. Would you go forward? Because if the answer is no, you don't need to know if it was hundreds of guys.
Yeah, would that matter to you?
That's just an irrelevant
Yeah.
question.
Of how she got it?
Oh no, it would just matter that she has it.
Now, but if you liked her enough, would you be willing to?
hundreds
To
of
get
guys
the
determines
herpes.
if I like her. or
You don't
not.
have to get it. I mean, there's medicine.
Shit, it was the woman of your dreams, and you really liked her, and you could see yourself settling down and having kids, the whole works. And so herpes would definitely be a deal breaker for you. You wouldn't be willing to get the herpes to fulfill that life with her.
I mean, if it's a dream life, then yeah, I would. You know,
that's a good
everyone
answer.
everyone wants to live
Yeah.
that dream life, you know, with kids and a family.
Well, I mean, the
And I mean,
childbirth with herpes is difficult.
So
but
here's the thing: is how
Corey, how is
inconvenient
life with
is herpes? It's
all right.
You know.
At least you know they won't cheat.
no,
I'm not sure that's accurate either.
False.
But
That's how they got the
Yeah.
herpes.
all right. Well, okay. So,
Speaking of relationships, Corey,
what's up?
our boy.
Oh, you know who Steven Crowder is?
I've never heard that name before in my life.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
Maybe
either.
it's not the.
Do you know Steven Crowder?
is that who you were talking about, Sohill?
Yes, yeah.
I know who he is. I don't listen to any of his stuff.
Okay. Do you know who he is?
I just know he's the change my mind guy.
Yeah.
All right.
And I saw that video you showed me of Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer handed him his ass when he was a young
Nerd.
virgin nerd She handed him his ass straight up and predicted this for his future. Now, do you have the video? Can you pull up the video of him talking to his
the
wife?
abuser.
The abuser. The abuse
one?
video.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It's fucking phenomenal. It's
Like, let's set up who's Steven Crowder. So, walk me to real quick.
Well,
You do it.
Yeah, Steven Crowder is a conservative personality who I've always considered him a grifter. He's the change my mind guy.
He was a child actor on Arthur, and just like Ben Shapiro wanted to be like a actor and failed.
Like the cartoon?
Yep, he was Brain on seasons 4 and on of
What?
Arthur, like 7, the bad season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I don't even know what that show is. But he ends up becoming, I think at 23 years old, he got on Fox News, faced off with Amy Schumer. He was a pure guy, going to wait till marriage. She was the whore that was, doing whore things. And they had a discussion. She kind of handed him his ass because he's 23, and she had a lot of good points. You don't know what you want at 23. You don't know who you are at 23. All of these things. He moves forward in life with an identity that is a Christian, conservative man's man, that takes care of his wife and all those things. And they're going through a divorce. So let's back up. Last time Steven Crowder, we talked about him on this podcast. He had turned down $25 million and was throwing a fit about it. 50 million and was throwing a fit about it.
Fucking crazy.
But in the 50 million, it was if you do anything that lessens the amount of money we're making, okay, you get what I'm saying? Then we're going to cut your pay. Well, at that time, he knew he was going through this divorce. So he knew once this divorce broke, his pay was going to go down. He knew his views were going to go down and everything else because he understands the substance of this divorce. So the way I understand it, and I haven't read a lot on it, but I have seen a lot about it. He comes out and he makes a video, goes public with his divorce, even though they had a court order that they weren't supposed to. And the reason why was because he's trying to get in front of this video that he knew was going to be released. And I don't know who released it. I don't know how it got released. And then she came out with a statement, and that statement's just, it's like, whoa. I mean, he bought a condo, moved out. She said he's the reason he decided to divorce me. I didn't decide to divorce him. He elected to have selective surgery which is actually a gender affirming surgery, which is the funniest part of the whole fucking thing, for his little concave
Because he's
chest.
just real quick, he's a huge transphobe, and I know I use that word. He is literally spews vitriol and hate in his grifting conservative talk show. And he literally dresses up as a woman on that show every month. He loves it.
But he had to have gender
and Candace Owens
But
questions his sexuality all the time.
But he's gender affirming that he's a male.
Yes, gender affirming surgery. He had a concave chest, and he had to unconcave it, and apparently it can pop back, and it popped back on him and bruised his lung, and so he wasn't there for the birth of his twins, and he wasn't able to take care of them. But in the video that was dropped, she's 8 months pregnant, and we'll just roll tape. Let's watch my guy.
He's 8 months pregnant.
She's
They're
8 months
outside.
pregnant.
He is smoking a nice little gar in her face.
You, I love you very much.
Can y'all hear?
I don't love
Yes.
you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous.
Hold on.
Yeah, but we don't need this. I don't like this. I don't
just raw footage.
I just want the raw footage.
Yeah, I thought
This spin
was-
version is whatever.
Yeah.
It's apparently they only have one car. I don't know why they only have one car. But all she's trying to do is go to the grocery store here. All she's trying to do is use the car to go to the grocery store here, and he won't let her use the car. And I'm like, wow. Well, now this is a small window into their life, but apparently
did they have
went
other
in.
kids?
No, she's pregnant.
Well, is this her first ones?
Twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So she's pregnant. Apparently they went inside and he put them hands on her, put them paws on her. Is that
On a
correct
lady
or is
8
that
months
not
pregnant?
correct?
I mean, he says watch it, and I mean,
He went inside and it
We
went
don't-
from
we
verbal
don't
to
know.
physical, but
We don't know.
have a lot of information on that. But either way, all she wanted to do was use the car, and he is just being the same tool bag that he is on his little show to her. But we can get. You got the raw footage? Go to Twitter. It's way better on Twitter. The raw footage is phenomenal. What's up?
No, I just can't imagine like a mom that's carrying 2 babies being that asshole that wants to like just be a dick for no reason. Like, not to mention whatever he's doing while like whatever reason he's out. She's gonna, how much help she's gonna need with 2 twins afterwards. Like, just doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about her at all at every level.
I mean,
And I don't know anything about this.
well, it just gives God and religion a bad name. Gives God and religion a bad rap because everything that, you know, I mean, his whole identity is tied up in being the perfect husband, waiting till marriage, doing all things the right way, and then he gets the wrong, I guess, picked the wrong wife. Like, how would you? I think isn't that what he said?
Well,
Sohail?
so he says he picked the wrong woman, right? And this is the thing. I'm pulling. It's loading right now, but he is very much for like traditional marriage, traditional,
Yeah.
like she is the 8 months pregnant and she has to be the one. This whole fight was like giving the dogs like very like medicine that might harm a pregnant woman. He's like, put the gloves on and do your wifely duties. You say you love me, but you don't do your wifely duties.
Oh, so he didn't want to medicate the dogs.
He didn't want to walk the. He
didn't
told
wanna
her to go
dogs.
walk the dogs.
He was telling her to walk the dogs and medicate the dogs, and that's why she couldn't use the cars because she wouldn't do her wifely duties.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abuse.
The video's pretty clear if you watch it.
Yeah.
What's going on, and you've seen these types of relationships.
I mean,
For
it seems
sure.
like he's a piece of shit.
Oh, come on, Spoonie. Let's watch the video and then judge him. Don't take my word for it. Let's just roll the tape. Is he? Oh, he is calling. He's calling her abusive.
There's no groceries. I'd be happy. Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. Other than that, other than that, receive love and respect. No. Other than that, no, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not
then I
taking
will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
the car. Right?
It's not a threat, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Getting an
Okay,
Uber
Steven, I
to his
can't.
8-month pregnant wife. He is a million. He is successful, wealthy,
Like, I
rich.
can't go.
Steven.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't go. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back.
That doesn't work either.
That either's
He
the
could
best
just
one.
go buy a new car. He could have one delivered.
No, but this is a tactic abusers use to
No, we understand
control
that.
you.
So we understand separating them from people.
The only way out
Or
of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Stephen,
There you go. You throw your hand. You give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at
Discipline.
an impasse, okay?
Yeah,
I love you.
discipline. He might need to put her over his knee.
Man, I can't. Oh my God.
Watch it.
He's sick.
Watch it.
Are you married, Ron?
Fucking watch it.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need
Girl, she got to get out of there.
Oh, she is out of there. They've been going through a divorce for a
But I
year.
love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some
So
gloves.
Candace
No.
Owens
But I love
went
you more
and
than life
invited
itself.
her
It's not
on
fair.
her
It's
show
not fair.
to talk
It's
about
just-
it.
Well, but only after he went and talked shit about her. That's the part I did see.
Well, of course, it's not.
Like, he went after Candace Owens, saying she's the one that leaked this video.
Yeah, I mean,
and
they
Candace
hate
Owens
each
like,
other.
fuck you. She can come on my show now and tell her whole side.
Hold on, but here's the thing. Pause this. All this. There's only one way this video got out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, those actually could be two ways: Crowder
it's-
or the wife.
Yeah, it wasn't Crowder.
You don't think so?
Definitely not.
No way.
Well, I mean, you would think he'd be smart enough to delete this or not do this on camera. I don't know what.
What would your line of reasoning be for why he might have?
I mean,
All that.
The
Like,
only-
do you hear him gaslighting her, talking about she's the abuser?
Oh, you think he's so deluded that
Well, or
I
there's
think- I
30
think-
minutes before this where she was just like, she was right. I mean, you don't know what happened before this, but he looks like the abuser.
Off of outsider looking in, it's like, oh man, he's talking pretty aggressively. But if you just if you look at a transcript, didn't hear the tone, I could 100% see how he's arguing his case that you're disingenuous, you're saying you do this or whatever, you're boxing me in.
Well, it's all context, Braxton, because right now, after he put out the video, he's all about, it's all about my children's safety and my children's physical safety. He keeps saying,
He's a clown. He's been a clown forever.
I'm just saying from like Corey's point, it's like if he is so deluded that it's like, see, look, it looks like she's the crazy one here, because he might truly believe that.
He might truly believe that, but
objectively he looks horrible. It is, if that's
well, but he's getting all this new attention now, and that might be all he cares about. I don't think it transfers into dollars for him. I think the problem is he's got this brand, this big Christian brand, and this isn't it. Guys like Sohill, are you Christian? Probably not.
hell yeah.
Okay.
No,
well,
I'm not. I'm
But
sorry.
I mean, people that like traditional marriage roles and stuff like that, this is what people will point to. See, this is what traditional marriage role is. But this ain't it. This ain't the move. Right, Spoonie, you have a pretty traditional marriage, don't you?
I mean, I guess I don't think so. Not like my parents did. Like,
Well, I mean, your wife's at home with the kids.
Yeah, from that aspect, yes. But I think we very 50-50 on decisions and stuff like that, and I don't think that's really traditional. I think
Yeah, maybe, but I'm saying, like, I mean, your wife's at home with the kids. She's, you know what I mean?
that's correct.
You probably help cook a little bit, but not.
She does most of that.
Yeah, it's like, people will take your marriage and shit on it and say, this is why you don't need to do that, because this is what it's like.
No,
when it's not like that.
Yeah, I would. I can't even imagine mentioning words like discipline around my wife. One, she'd laugh at me. Two,
Oh,
I can't even imagine pulling that, because like, you shouldn't be in a relationship where that's the case anyways. And maybe we don't know what happened before this, if he's been abusive or it's grown over time, or
Spoonie,
maybe
this
she's
is what our
abusing
marriage
him.
is
Who
like,
knows?
though.
Huh?
This is what our marriage is like.
Whose?
Mine and yours.
Yeah.
This-
But
I am Steven Crowder in our marriage.
Ours is a big gay marriage.
Yeah, when
gaslights
I'm just like, Spoonie, you got to be disciplined and respect and not misspeak. We're not doing that property. We're doing this property. You're like, yeah, you know what I mean. I just corrected him.
if I knew what you meant, then we would be talking about that.
Yesterday I was like, he said something, he misspoke the property, and he went to correct it before he could correct it. I was like, we're not working on that one. And he's like, I'm already correcting it, you asshole. And I'm like, all right, Spoonie, I'll back
No,
off.
I did correct it. I said, no, I meant this property. And he's like, God, you shouldn't misspeak. And I said, I already corrected myself, you asshole. Like, you don't have to be like that about everything.
And then the ring footage got released and we got canceled.
Like, just me crying on the porch, 8 months pregnant.
I think usually, it's not cool to dive into people's personal lives like this, but he made his brand. He is such a clown, like you said.
But this was his brand. His brand
Yeah.
was, I'm going to marry one woman and be married forever. His new brand better be, I'm a man whore, I'm slaying hoes. And so, you know what I mean? Because he's got, whoever isn't leaving him over this now is going to be there regardless of whatever. So he may as well go for the other 50% of the market. You know what
Just
I mean?
him and Amy Schumer on their new life.
I mean, he needs to disappear.
That
but
would be the move if he hooked up with Amy Schumer.
Yes, he needs to go for market share in a different demographic now, because his the demographic he had is jumping off that ship fast, and the money's going to dry up.
I'm saying this with peace and love. He is not.
Which means you're not.
His
by the
wife.
way.
No, I'm
saying
really
this.
am.
I like him, but
No,
that motherfucker.
his wife is never gonna make him hard. No woman you're saying is gonna do it for him. He's gonna be frustrated and angry. He is at the very least, very frustrated and confused man in terms of his sexuality.
Maybe,
And,
probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
yes.
Maybe, but I don't know that enough about him.
I
Now,
mean-
I would love.
I'm just addressing you saying he needs to go slay. Like none of that.
No, he needs to go be a man whore. He needs to lean in hard to it, and he needs to become his new brand.
like-
He needs to be coaching young men like you on how to talk.
He could be the
hit on
dude.
women
What's
at the
that dude's
bar.
name? Andrew Tate. Like,
Yes,
he could be
needs to-
that guy.
He needs to be Andrew Tate now. He tried the other side. It wasn't good. Didn't work out for him. Now he needs to go be Andrew Tate.
It was the same side. Andrew Tate's just on the like Islamic extreme side, and he's on the Christian extreme side. It's the same shit.
Yeah, but he needs to lean into the dark side. He needs to go to the dark side, lean in. Ron's judging me. Ron, what do you think? You don't know. You really don't know who Crowder is.
No, and he would also fit in my 90%. I'm not gonna judge him for that 10% that he lacks as a man.
Yeah, so I'm not judging him either. I'm judging him for a full body of work. I've watched him for
A decade.
No, I've just seen him. I've just seen his
celebrate
debates,
his
and
poll.
I've just seen his debates, and I've always thought the same thing every time I've watched him debate. He's just not very good. He's not very good at it, and it's a grift. It's an act.
The worst thing,
It's a
he's not
play.
funny.
It's not funny, and it's a play. It's
So
pretend.
he's a comedian, this guy? Or
He
yes,
thinks he
kinda.
is.
he's
But
supposed
that's why
comedy
you
for-
know he doesn't believe it, because he's not funny. Like there's nothing genuine when he's doing those, like the poking and prodding, like change my mind. Like,
Well, he
there's
got his ass. I saw one clip where he got his ass kicked somewhere. But the wife lives here in Dallas. That was in her release.
You need her on your podcast.
That's what we're talking about. Wanna
Reach
lie?
out to her. Reach out to her.
I mean, somebody. I don't even.
I
know her
guarantee you,
name,
2
but
degrees of separation. Somebody can find her.
If anybody can get us in touch with Steven Crowder's wife, we want to know how the sex was. So we're gonna we're
how
gonna find out.
impotent
Was
is
he a
he?
virgin when this thing started? What you know what I mean? Was it weird and awkward? We want to dive in. We want to know all about it. We're not doing a typical podcast about all the divorce and all that. We don't care about that. We want to know.
Does he have erectile dysfunction?
Yes. Like, you know what I mean? What weird shit did he whisper in your ear? How weird did it get? That's what I want to know.
Oh my
It's just
God,
me.
that's
Seems reasonable.
Probably isn't, but hey, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's all it's a brand thing. Do you know you really didn't know who? Did you knew who he was, but what you went to some
I learned
function,
who he was with the Change My Mind table. He blew up, and then I never
but
got onto his content.
see, I would have thought that would have been so before your time though, because that seemed like 10 years ago that
No,
actually,
he's still doing it though. Those come up probably once a month, like a new one.
okay.
Because I think he was in Austin the first time it took off.
Nah,
Yeah, he did all of them at UT or SMU.
Wherever it was, that was the first time I ever saw him. I never started following the content, like just
That was around, I believe, 2016, when the whole SJW wars were happening, when
okay.
conservatives
But
started losing their
went
minds.
to Trump's hotel with something.
Turning Point, USA, yeah, with Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, that crowd.
Okay, so he wasn't a part of that.
No, I don't think they've ever.
Got along.
I don't know if it's got along or
No,
but
no
they've
one
never,
likes Crowder.
never collab, nothing like that. I don't think.
Well, didn't you say he's got a bunch of money backing him? Isn't that how he?
Didn't he have a rich uncle or something?
I think we covered that on the time before that somebody dropped that on him that he had somebody.
Yeah, basically
somebody
a
backing him.
beneficiary.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Well, it's the same reason Daily Wire dropped him. He did have backers, just like all the conservative grifters, especially have very rich backers. But he kept
So the liberal ones.
The liberal ones do too.
sure, but
They
I
ain't
mean,
doing it off the grassroots.
They're not.
We're
They,
not.
they
gonna
may be
talk about
sourcing
how-
it through 8,000 dead people's grassroots
We're
donations.
not going to talk
but
about how liberals are conservatives again, but the Daily Wire, same thing. Like if they can't monetize him at some point, he's got to sell mugs and monetize himself, and that's where that's where he got to. He has a mug club
Could we
where
buy
he
the
sells
mug
made
club
in
brand?
China mugs, even though he's an American patriot.
Yeah, but that's everybody.
Right, but I'm saying that's where his revenue is coming from.
The Mug Club.
Yes. So if something happens and he has to sell that brand, could we buy the Mug Club brand? Like, what's his name bought Pier 1 and use
Amazing.
that for our own.
That guy's in financial ruin.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
So no,
More like
Okay.
the guy that bought the Blockbuster Twitter.
that guy's in financial ruin.
Oh, not like him then.
No. It's yeah, not going well for. I think they're the same guy. But
I bought the King of Texas Real Estate Instagram.
what I really want to know though, from you guys, y'all saw this. Y'all looking forward to getting married now?
I've thought for a good minute. I ain't in no rush.
Okay. What about you?
I'm not in a rush, but you know, if when it happens, it happens.
Oh, man, I would take my time. I ain't been married yet. It's one of my biggest. You know, I'm like, man, it's that kind of work. It's like I'm still working on myself. That's why you know what I mean. I'm like, I really would, but I'm still working on me.
For me, maybe not as long as you, but at the same time, working with a lot of married people makes me appreciate the freedom that I have.
Ron, do you think marriages work?
You have to be compatible. You know, it has to be the right thing. And the problem is people get together not knowing each other and they try to make it work, and they should have never been together to begin with. So that does happen, but marriages can be an amazing thing. Once you learn how to work, you got to have a system. So for years as a service provider, I would never know when I was going to be home, never knew when that last job was. And my wife would always call me and say, when are you going to be home? And I'm like, leave me alone. Like, I don't know. And since I didn't know and she kept asking me the same question, it would make me angry. Woo. Well, she didn't know that would make me angry. She was just doing it because she wanted to know when to start dinner. It was a good thing. She was like, I just want to make you warm dinner. So there was that communication mishap. And the problem is there's too many marriages that have too many communication gaps, and you have to close those gaps, and it could be a beautiful thing. A marriage is supposed to be this amazing, beautiful thing. But you have to figure out those communication gaps and get them dialed in. And that's, unfortunately, most people are so distracted and busy with their lives, they can't hone in on those communication gaps.
Well,
I like that.
I do too.
I will tell you this. I've been around all my married friends a lot. Ron had to call his wife yesterday because he don't have service at the lake house, RIP lake house service. Anyways, so he's like, hold on, I got to call my wife, and we're leaving. And I was like, man, we don't have real good service here either. I was like, let's wait to get to town, you know, because mainly I didn't want to sit there while he was on the phone with his wife for 35 minutes. You know what I mean? I was like, just kind of want to get home, you know? He's like, no, it won't be no big deal. And I was like, shit, I can't drive because I'll lose service. So I stop, and he calls. It was like, boop, boop, done. It's like a 2-second phone call. Yeah, I'm alive. I ain't got service. Well, how'd you call me this morning? Oh, well, I was on the back porch. There's a little bit of service there. Okay, well, cool. Call me when you can. Done and done. Like, I expected it to be, you know what I mean? Something way different conversation. So...
you gotta hone it in. Everything needs to be honed in. But you could get with the wrong individual, and you guys could clash and never get on the same page. And you know that's what happens with the divorce rates. That's why they're so high, because most people, they're not looking at how can we make this situation better. And as for a man, it's how can I get better and serve my woman better, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Mm-hmm. And we have to know that ahead of time, and we can make everything better. So one thing that my wife gets, or anybody really, if you call Ron while he's busy and extremely trying to focus, whatever I'm focused on, it has all my attention. And if you interrupt that for a minute and it's not something important to me and what I'm doing, well, then you're going to get, the side eye, right? But to them in that moment, it was important. So when you can realize that, you could try to make the communication gap a little bit better. And if they know that, hey, during these hours, don't bother me, don't interrupt me unless it's this important of a threshold. And most people don't have the forward-thinking conversations. And
lay out those ground rules. Yeah. Spoonie, you think you can do that? You think you can not bother your wife?
What's that?
You think you can not bother your wife unless it's this threshold? Do you think you could put in that clear communication like, hey, unless it's this, don't call me. Unless it's this, don't call me. Do you think you could do that for her and she could do that for you?
We both struggle with that. The one thing, for some reason, it's like a magnet. For some reason, I always feel like every time I get the urge to call her, it's like 3:30. So it's always during the middle of pickup. It's always a bad time. But the other side of that is we have this exact same problem where something that's really important happens in her life, and she calls me and I'm in the middle of something. And I have to remind myself it's probably important because I do get frustrated. He knows. He loves to fuck with me.
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying like you do like to mess with me. You know, when I get buried in something, you like messing with me because it throws me off everything I'm doing. But
whatever.
But anyways, that happens. So we struggle with that too. The bigger struggle for us has been the communications, actually dialing that in. And it's something we really worked on the last couple of years. We were in baby jail for so long that I think we didn't even have time to look at that. We were just existing, especially with these twins, the last two, because we were buried in starting this business and having two twins at the house. Hell, we just high-fived each other most of the time for like 2 years. And now we finally come out of that. We're having a lot more conversations. We're having a lot longer conversations. And specifically, instead of arguing, now we'll sit down and be like, look, this ain't going to be productive. What's really important to you about this? And I'm actively trying to listen to the intention of what she's saying and what she really wants, and not just trying to solve her problem that I'm hearing. Because a lot of times somebody gives me a problem, I'm just like, well, let's solve it like this. And that's not really what she wants. So I'm working on all those things. And that's what I meant by work. You have to continually.
Braxton, how's your and Big Mike's marriage going? I see y'all got a lot of weight equipment.
We do. I mean, it's honestly peak living. Just a bench press, a pull-up bar, some
And a
weights.
punching bag.
Yeah, punch bag like.
So Big Mike lives with you?
You didn't know this?
I thought Brenton lived with you at your new place.
Brenton lives over with some 40-year-old man.
Well, he doesn't really live there, but he does kind of live there. It's one of those weird deals.
This
Water
40-year-old just comes over there and bros out with him.
They don't know his name. He just kind of goes in, hangs out.
Brings them alcohol. He's grooming them. It's okay.
Has Brenton suddenly had large influxes of cash? Like, has he been having more money to spend freely?
No, there's really no benefit from that dynamic. They just don't lock their door, so he comes in. It's a weird neighbor, man.
I've not been to Brenton's house. Brenton invited me to his birthday party and birthday dinner. And I think he did it because he felt like he had to. That's why I didn't necessarily put any real, priority on it. But I half-assed wanted to show up with my kids. You know what I mean? And just like make a full evening of it. Like Biggin's like, where are we going next? Oh, we're going to this bar. Cool. Walk in, got my 9-year-old, got my 2-year-old. We're at the coolest bar in Waco, whatever that is. What was it? Where'd
I
they
don't
go?
know. I didn't go
either.
with them, no.
Think Twin Peaks.
Nah, it's breaks.
I went to bed. I had to go
R.I.P.
to a lot of driving the next day.
So whatever happened there, I almost wanted to make it a shit show. Be like, yeah, but anyways, did his ex Roadhouse waitress ex?
Yeah, she did go out.
And did the
I don't know.
Sadie or Sarah or something Saddlebacks?
I don't know.
Saddlebacks. That's a hell of a name
I
for a
don't
lady.
remember- I don't remember
Saddlebacks.
She might have. I think she was planning on it. The ex definitely did. I don't know about the other chick.
So, anyways, Brenton, when we went to Roadhouse that day, we made him shoot his shot at the waitress, who turns out was friends with his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
That was good.
Hey, I have a question. So Jeremy, right? They
That's you.
Oh, me?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Sorry.
Jeffrey.
Exactly.
Yarrington.
That's my point. So they just found you at dinner last night. Like, how'd they know
Yeah,
you?
they met him at Chili's. He seemed like a young man that needed grooming, so they picked him up.
Okay.
We got him. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us what's your deal.
Mine?
Yeah.
Like,
How'd you meet Ron?
my mom basically, she told me to go work for him, so applied my application. I did. Started working for him. Great man to work for.
And then he's like, you got to help me drive to Texas.
Yeah, he said you're driving the whole way there, so I could sleep.
That's a pretty good job right there.
Braxton's been on the other side of that, too. All right, we're driving to Miami.
All right.
But I think did I drive the whole way out?
You drove the whole way back because you're the
Yes.
trailer, but we split the way there.
Yeah. I did sleep a little. Me and Ems. I had my kids with me. I had Emery with me. We went to Miami. I was like, hey, Braxton, weird request, but do you have anybody that would babysit Emery while we're in Miami? He's like, let me make some calls. And he came up with...
It was like Friday afternoon, and we're leaving Friday night.
And he's like, well, all my friends work. And I'm like, yeah, but, do they really like their jobs,
When he said that, I was like, I know just the person.
Called this girl, and we road trip. Me, Braxton, Emery, and Savannah road tripped out to Miami, and Savannah and Emery hung out on the beach all day. And then
That was a good trip.
we've never seen Savannah again. And we still ask about her. She's like, where's Savannah? I'm like, oh, she'll be around. She's probably at
Need
Braxton's
to,
house right now.
need to get her to a softball game.
Yeah. It really would make Emery's day. She'd be like, that's her bestie. They hung out on the beach together. She remembers all her babysitters. So what's up? Smitty, you got anything? Can we help these young men out?
I don't know that I can. I don't know.
I
that have
think
experience.
it needs an action. They need action plan immediately.
Yeah.
Get some reps out.
Yes, sir. He gets the concept.
And
If you had to identify the fear that stops you, because it's fear. Let's be real. It is fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the fear of what are they going to think of you? Or are you afraid like they would like physically harm you, slap you, call you names? Like what's the fear? Where does that fear come from?
It's just like, what would they think? You know what I mean? Like, what would they think of me? I'm not scared like them hit me because like I doubt that's gonna happen. But
thoughts don't hurt, though.
yeah,
So you're
Most
afraid of
kids
what
don't
they
need it.
would think of you.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess so.
So you're going to say, hey, you're beautiful. I would love to Netflix and chill with you. Or something along those lines. And
Well,
you're
hold on.
afraid of them saying no.
But what they say yes. New problems.
Yeah, but those
'Cause now you
probably,
don't have Netflix or chill.
There's always Netflix and chilling.
you know, like where do you live at?
Michigan City.
Okay, so here's my point.
Where
We're
is
going to
that
Chili's after this. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. You'll never see any of these girls you meet today at the Chili's ever again. It doesn't matter what they think of you. You have everything to lose by not shooting your shot. Everything. Like they will never. If you don't want to see them, you will never see them again.
And let's say this. Let's say you do close the deal, and it's like, yeah, absolutely, I would love to. We'll just leave you at Chili's,
Yeah.
and you ride home with them afterwards. You know what I mean? Which means now you got to close.
And you
'Cause
live in Texas. It's just all new problems.
if you don't close, you're not going to get a ride back to Crowsbeck because you gotta be good enough.
He's getting you on the way out.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, you get, that's just the rest of your vacation. Like poor Ron's on his own. Like, hey, I'm up here with the Chili's waitress. She done called in sick for 3 days. We're doing whatever it is there is to do. And where are we at, Richardson? Yeah.
And it's the same for you at home. You just don't realize it. Like you go to the bar, maybe you see the same girls every time. Maybe you go to whatever you do, read books, go to the library and meet girls, whatever that is. You really won't. You might see one time again, but like you're never going to see most of some people ever again. You have everything to lose by not shooting your shot.
I see all my Roadhouse waitresses every.
That's because it's the only place you eat, and they all think you're creepy.
We just
putting
called him
that
the
out
other
there.
day at Roadhouse. Big
Yeah.
Mike and I were leaving HEB.
Yeah.
He honked. I'm like, I bet
just-
you he's going to Roadhouse. We followed.
Corey, Cass and I went to Roadhouse the other day. It was an hour wait. We waited just for you, bro.
Well worth it?
I need to show you. Okay, the saltiest fucking steaks I've had in my entire life,
that's why
and
we go.
I make my steaks salty as hell. People complain. This was like double that. I loved
Who
it.
is this you went to
That's
Roadhouse
awesome.
with?
Cass, did you meet Cass?
I did not meet Cass.
got a girlfriend.
I've heard that. They
Well,
said-
I'm glad it was good, Sohill.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking of Corey.
Yeah, it's like look, we went down in San Antonio. Well, okay, so we started our day at Roadhouse in San Antonio and ended it at Roadhouse in Waco. It's irrelevant to the conversation. There was a day.
Then why'd you
Braxton
bring it
saw us.
up?
Whoa, hold on, time out. So when that day took place, they overcooked my steaks in San Antonio. It's the first time it happened in a while, but they did it. I think it was just a language barrier thing. I think they didn't hear what I said very well. Because, medium rare out of my mouth in a noisy Roadhouse could sound like medium well. So
Mine was
I cut some
raw.
slack.
It was great.
Didn't we
It was
have a
bloody.
bad one the other day? Where was that at? Was it at there was the one in Waco.
What?
Where was it? I
What?
got one that was completely overcooked the other day. Maybe it's in Granbury. Doesn't matter. It was completely overcooked. I never.
There's no Roadhouse in Granbury.
No, it wasn't Roadhouse. It was the other
Off-Row?
one. Yeah. It
Oh, yeah.
it was
Off-Brow is terrible
way overcooked.
sometimes.
I was like, man, I order a medium. Like I don't like them rare like you do, but it was like burnt.
You'll have that sometimes. Furman got his raw one day there, and he was sad about it. He said, "Do you think they can cook my meat?" Send it back.
I even
got
green beans because of you.
Ooh, but anyways, well, I guess Sohill's out.
Keep going. I gotta pee.
All right, so we gotta stretch this out a little longer. Ron, give young Braxton some advice on this.
Okay.
Help him out.
And Braxton, you said you're 20, right? Mm-hmm. So 20-year-old man. And you would love to have a woman in your life, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So you want a woman in your life, a good woman,
Yes.
a very good woman.
Yes.
And what are the benefits again for having a good woman in your life? What is she gonna do for you?
Someone to share experiences with.
Okay.
Be exposed to different things, different ideas. Learn different things.
What are the things a bad woman could bring to the table that you're trying to avoid?
Drain my energy. Child support.
Okay.
Drain my energy. Make me less than what I could be that day is ultimately it.
So what qualifying questions could you ask a woman?
Oh man, I don't know. To determine if they're gonna drain your energy or not.
Yeah, I mean, you after about a 10-minute conversation with anybody, you can get some key questions from them, and you can find out everything about their entire life, like how
Fact finding.
Yeah. So it's like the number one thing. If you don't want a woman to drain your energy, you need to see how neurotic she is, right?
Whoa.
And
What's neurotic mean?
That-
Now you're drowning us with $20 words like Spoonie does.
So you just want the tendency to have negative emotions, right?
Oh my God.
And so if she's high on the neurotic scale, she's going to drain your energy because she's not bringing positive energy to the relationship, right?
Ooh.
You need to find that out right away before you invest, number one, any money or any of your time with her. Like, why would you
Right.
How do you-
want to spend time with that
What's
person?
How do you do
What's
that?
that fact
Do you,
finding?
do you fart on the first date? See,
I
see
wait
if
till
it
the second
ruins it?
date.
If
Second
she-
date.
Well,
You got
I-
to fart by the second date.
I mean, you possibly could just get a personality trait test and
Slide it over to her.
slide over to her.
Did you take this?
Or you could have a conversation and ask them those qualifying questions like, hey, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Well, I haven't given much thought. Is that forward thinking? No. It's kind of backwards thinking. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you ask these type of questions, you're gonna let them know what kind of thinking they possess. Hey, do I want to be with someone that is not a forward thinker? Because those are the people that are going to drain your energy. Because what are they going to do? You could be busy with your career, and what are they going to do? Impulsively and react to whatever state of mind they're in, right? But with the forward thinking woman, they're going to be like, hey, I know Braxton's at work. I'm not going to interrupt him because I know what he's doing. I'm going to make mental note that I need to ask him X, Y, and Z when he gets done with work.
What? Savannah was in computer technology, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's like IT certified and everything now.
So she was going to work as the CIA. She going to work. What's she going to do?
Maybe
it was
that's why you
some
haven't heard from
defense
her again.
contract or something.
We
I don't know where she's trying to work now, but she's certified and a whole bunch of different things. I think now.
damn. So shit. So, anywho, what do you think about it? Like, so have you asked girls those questions before?
No, not 5-year plans and stuff.
You didn't ask Big E those questions?
I guess stuff like that. Yeah,
What was there a 5-year plan?
not really.
See, my problem with when I ask about the 5-year plan is, I immediately like, oh fuck. If they got one, I'm immediately salty about it. Don't matter what it is,
Why?
because it ain't my 5-year plan. It's like
Get that.
it's like, what's your 5-year plan? I'm gonna cure cancer. I'm like, this bitch. Oh, now I got to deal with that shit. That's
I get that. I get that question though, because it's like, what are you? Because that's basically asking like, what matters to you and how are you working towards it?
All right, so I'm a straight shooter, straight to the point. The one reason I have success is straight to the point. Let's move on, right? And one of those questions with women that you'd want to ask is, are you on any prescription medication?
how high are you?
Maybe not that, but how many mental problems do you have? I mean, this
Yeah.
is real life stuff. And there was a woman that I was going to date, and she was, you could look through their medicine cabinet once they're in their house, and you could kind of look up
got a
what
shit.
kind of pills they're taking, and say, okay, this woman's got severe baggage. Like, am I willing to deal with that baggage or not?
You got Google too, so you can know exactly what it's for.
I just got to take a picture of the labels.
He's in there
and
digging
look-
through all of her
research it.
tampons. Why do these all say heavy flow? What does this mean?
I get that though. She's dying.
Get that though. Figure out what the medication is. Figure out, what's this
What if it's
for?
just herpes medicine?
Then you'll know ahead of time. You know what I mean? You'll get so invested.
But this is advanced stuff. We need to go back to the beginning stages and just engage with
First
more
interaction.
women.
First
Yeah,
interaction.
Yep. So have you guys both? We've been talking about the same subject for a while now. Have you thought of that one line you're going to use when we leave here at Chili's?
I don't know the one line.
What about
Jeffrey.
this?
I don't know yet.
Hey, I'm
either.
Braxton. What's your name? Like, it don't have
It's
to be
that
hard.
simple, right? Is that simple? Is that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
What's your
forgettable.
name? Are they gonna say?
You don't have to show them your dick. You just
Very
you
forgettable.
just have to get their name.
What,
then
what's
you
the
start
Corey
the
Thompson
conversation.
one line?
Damn, I bet you can fart the alphabet.
See, that's
Yeah, no,
I
it's
can't do
not.
that because that's not me.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to do that
It's just
because the girl that works on at the flea market is probably not who you're looking for today.
Yeah,
that goes back to the girl that does respond to that positively. I don't think I want that girl.
I mean, that
No,
could be
it's
that's
like-
a sounding question though.
yeah.
Now you know, like, oh yeah, I didn't
You're the
want
kind
her.
of girl that makes me want to take off the rest of the afternoon, go to Walmart, get a slip and slide, some butter, see where it goes. You know?
That actually sounds kind of
That's strong.
you know.
I mean, maybe some canola.
That could be interesting.
I
at
do
the
that
end
with
of the day.
Spoonie just for fun. Like
It's weird. He's
that's not a
obsessed
red
with
flag
me.
if she says yes to that one.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, what else? I don't know. Live chicken, weed eater. It's whatever. Get as weird as you want. Problem is, you might say yes. Now you got real problems.
I'm taking off the
Real
afternoon
talk.
going to Walmart getting a slip and slide butter now.
Not margarine either. Real shit. So, anyways, Spoonie, what you think about it? Got any advice for young Jeffrey? Jeffrey
I don't-
seems like y'all are on the same. Like he's like y'all are on the same plane.
I don't think you have.
Jeffrey's are you? Is that your dad?
Maybe
He could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
age wise. I mean, it's
your-
not
your
impossible.
eye color and his eye color
I'll put
are
it out there.
same.
It's not impossible.
He's old enough
Never
to be
been
your
to
dad.
Michigan.
Like,
Like you just got to do you.
has
man.
your mom
And
ever
it
been to
can't-
Texas?
No, I don't think so.
All right,
Well, he's
well,
been to Ohio though.
No, I don't think so.
And what about Indiana?
Pennsylvania, but
Mom
that was
ever
like
been to
5 years
Pennsylvania?
ago, so
I
that'd
don't
be
think
hard. I don't think it has. Like, you don't have to say dumb shit like that. You can say whatever you feel comfortable with. Just get their name and start from there. Have a conversation.
Spoonie's not telling
Then
the
you can
truth.
figure out stuff. Because whatever.
Hey, Spoonie's advice you should be learn to play the guitar,
Oh, that
learn how to
works.
sing,
That works too.
and learn how to country dance.
All of that.
And
That-
if
all
you
of that
do
works.
those three things and you don't give an absolute fuck about anything, just look past them like they're not even there.
that works too.
See?
That works too. Like, You know,
Spoon's giving you the podcast.
being
advice. He's
the
not giving
best
you
dancer in the
spoon
bar
advice.
will often assure that you don't have to look for somebody to dance with. It makes conversations easy.
Being able to play any song by ear on a acoustic guitar and
can
be able
help.
to sing it.
But that's not the answer for all of my problems.
Well, also it'll solve a lot of them. I'm telling you, I done seen it. I done lived this life. Like my friend Shane can pick up a guitar till this day and play any song he wants, and I promise you, it's way more attractive at 20 than it is at 40.
Yeah. If you're his age and you're like, listen, young lady, let me sing you a Bon Jovi song. Like they're
But I mean, the guitar, that he's not wrong. It's not just guitar, though. What does that show, right? It shows that you are like knowing yourself and what you like and what you're good at and what you are talented at, right?
It is. I mean, it's a super flex, but you know, if you got time, it's whatever. I mean, Braxton learned Spanish and Ukraine.
I'm like,
How's that going?
I'm like 90 days deep straight.
So he's learned Ukrainian because we put him up to it, so he could talk to a Ukrainian girl in her native language. Now we know the girl, but he's got to be able to have the conversation. But she knows 5 or 6 languages, so it's like it's whatever. I mean,
Does she not know English?
Oh, she does very well.
Like, there's no reason to learn Ukrainian whatsoever other than this.
At all, just to show her that and I think it will work. I think she'll respect the shit out of it. I think it'll, and I'll bet you she's got 5-year plan faux show.
Or you gonna like, what's your sex game like, Jeffrey? Like, how strong do you think your sex game
you
is
just
on a scale of 1 to 10?
slinging dick left and right.
Like not how much sex you're having, but how good are you at it?
I mean, say I'm pretty good at it, you know.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, though, what would you rate yourself?
It's a weird question.
It is.
I'm a fucking 11, bro.
What
Say
you
it,
at?
say it. Like
I'm saying about an 8, honestly.
no.
Yeah, I've done a lot of
If I
stuff.
could get it won't accept any credit cards no matter what I do.
All right, Braxton, where are you at? Scale 1 to 10.
Don't do it.
You never had sex? Okay. So you're at what? Not even with yourself?
That's the only
Like, have you had sex like
Just with
your
Corey.
hand?
Well, hold on, but I mean, you're asking good questions, but you need to. He's just deathly afraid of pregnancies.
Ain't about it, man. Unnecessary risk.
So you got some spermicide with you.
No, he's just like, if I don't get a, if I keep
Easiest
my
way to
pants
avoid
on.
it is just by not doing it.
There you go. Now, you said at 8.
Steven
That's a
Crowder
pretty
over here.
strong score.
Yeah.
What's the most orgasms you've ever gave a woman?
Oh my God,
Oh wow! You took this to a.
we're in there now.
That's in the. That's in the
72.
cut.
I mean, if you're rating yourself at 8, that falls within a certain perimeter of orgasms, and I don't know.
47.
but How many
I'd say 73.
in one sitting?
Like during one session.
One session.
Oh
About
lord!
like 6.
Sit, Jeffrey.
I swear.
6?
Yeah. I remember exactly where it was at.
You
and
and Spoon
everything.
are about to go in the other room.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Can we?
This is the dumbest
Can
shit
we,
I've ever seen in my life.
can we phone her and get her to say that?
Probably not.
Why not?
We'll have to double dollar.
I ain't got a number, nothing no more.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if
Jeffrey.
you-
Yes,
That's right,
Jeffrey.
dude.
She lives in
Good
Canada.
idea, Jeffrey.
She lives in Canada
That's
now.
right.
No way to get a hold of her.
Wait a minute.
That.
If you're giving her 6 orgasms in one session,
No.
she should be glued to you. Like,
Hold on.
Why'd she leave?
You're digging in. No, he left.
Did you leave?
Yeah. obviously.
Why did you leave her?
Because
Bitch.
that was done. It was over. It was finished.
It's too much work.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, I was there for
Christ.
17 hours.
Yeah, that
So
set the
long.
bar so high. The very first time. Never want to meet that expectation again. So now we're down here.
Jeffrey, how long did it take you to
No,
to
no,
give her
no.
6?
Whoa.
We was going for a while.
Like an hour?
No. 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was right. About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
How many songs?
It's weird.
Song.
I don't know. We
Just
just
counting
It's a
the
real weird talk.
All right.
Yeah, you
We've
took this-
made
the cleaner took this to a weird place.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's like
I think it's weird.
people make it weird.
It's less. It's not as. It is more weird than the Big Mac sauce thing that happened.
No.
Like,
Is it weird though?
No, it's
a little weird.
Look, I loved it. I'm personally.
Well, like how many? What's
I'm
your top orgasms for a woman? And
I have
what's
no idea. I've never pulled them afterwards. I've never been like, how many? Was it 7 or was it 1?
I mean,
Never. Right?
I've
Look,
never. That's
Never,
crazy.
never, ever in my life. I don't.
I can't imagine giving them a questionnaire afterwards.
well, you want to improve, right? So
No, I've never.
No, you want to improve?
Normally, I'm asleep and they're still talking. I'm just.
All right.
Oh shit! I've got 6 questions. It takes less than a minute and a half, and I'd like to stay on the line after the sex, and we'll.
I gotta remember. Hold on, before we do this, there's gonna be an exit survey. I'm gonna need you to fill out.
First of all, this is important because of things have happened. Did I have your permission before we?
A waiver, signed waiver,
Gotta get a
copies of their
contract.
IDs.
So, all right, well, that's been the Different Generations podcast. This is Ron Papke with QCC. We're right here at the end. If you've stuck around this long, like, subscribe, all the things, and leave a comment. Let us know if what Ron just talked about made you uncomfortable, because Spoonie is now going to have to go have
He
a
is,
prayer
he
session.
is embarrassed.
No, I'm just so happy for Jeffrey being on record. Like, he's a legend now. Like,
Oh,
6
yeah.
times. Like,
He's
this
like-
dude.
He's like,
I hope they clip this up and you're all over the internet. Like
That
that.
would be nice.
I am so happy for him.
6, and then I just ditched that bitch. Bye.
She was a bitch. Damn. Jeffrey's artist.
Later, guys. Subscribe, all those.
If you go to Roughneck to Real Estate right now, you can be one of over 1,000 people that don't like something I said on the internet. You can find that video there right now on Roughneck to Real Estate at TikTok.